So what happens to your Pillar 2 pension schemes when you leave Switzerland? Well, within Switzerland, part of employer-based pension schemes is they have this nifty trick of following you from one company to another. So if you start a pension scheme with your employer at company A and then you move to company B, that old pension scheme will have the funds moved into company B's pension scheme and you'll have all of your pension in one place. So that sounds great. The trouble is that because it follows you from one company to another, what happens when you leave a Swiss company and don't find a new Swiss company? You move outside Switzerland or you become unemployed. Well, the unfortunate circumstance is that that money is still transferred away from your old employer-based pension scheme into an uninvested cash-based pension scheme where it stops growing. And in fact, not only does it stop growing, because inflation on a yearly basis reduces the value of money in general, it starts eroding in value. So this money that you are putting away in your employer-based pension schemes every month, every year, for the purpose of making smart financial decisions in order to grow your long-term wealth so you can provide for yourself in retirement, is suddenly transferred into the worst bank account possible, in that you can't get access to the money until you reach retirement age, it doesn't grow in value, and when you take money out of it, you still pay tax on it. Would you ever start a bank account like that? Probably not. Now, Pillar 3 pension schemes are not quite as bad as Pillar 2. In fact, they're not that bad at all. Essentially what happens when you leave the Switzerland for your private pension schemes is they will remain invested as previously directed and continue to grow into retirement before paying out, and again, you still pay tax on those and such. So a quick summary here. Pillar 1, contributions will stop, but benefits are retained. Pillar 2, the really bad one, growth stops entirely. It's held as cash, starts eroding in value due to inflation, and essentially becomes a terrible bank account. Pillar 3 pension schemes, nothing really changes. It will continue to grow as if you were still in Switzerland. So let's now have a look at what our options are now that we've left Switzerland. Well, in the case of AHV or Old Age Survivors Insurance pensions, remember that's Pillar 1 government pensions, in certain situations you will have the ability to fully encash that pension scheme and gain your contributions back. This is based on a number of different circumstances, really dependent on whether your country has a social security agreement in Switzerland which allows you to do this, or you don't have a social security agreement with Switzerland. So let's have a look at the options you have open to you now that you've left Switzerland in relation to your Pillar 1 pensions or your AHV contributions. Now, the first option you have is to do nothing. And by and large, this is often the appropriate course of action. You will still have your entitlements to an AHV payment when you reach retirement, so long as your country has a social security agreement with Switzerland, which allows this. Here's a quick list of all of the countries in which this is an option for. So if you see your list of countries on this list, well, that means that you can do nothing and you will still receive your AHV contributions in retirement. Now, the countries which are in a different colour, do keep a note of, because you might actually have an additional option. Now, that option is that in certain situations, if you are one of these countries which was either highlighted or doesn't have a social security agreement with Switzerland, you may apply for the full reimbursement of your AHV contributions after you've left Switzerland. Now, there are numerous different eligibility criteria in order to do this, but if this applies to you, it's certainly an avenue which may be worth exploring. And certainly, if you didn't see your country of nationality on the previous page where it detailed all of the countries which can receive AHV contributions, this is definitely something you need to look at because it's the only way you're going to see value from those contributions, as they will not be paid out to you in retirement. Now, the way that you can go about this process is you have to apply directly to the Swiss Central Compensation Office, and we've included a link for you guys to click to start the process. So let's have a look at what your options are regarding Pillar 2 Swiss pensions.